Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. Thank you, Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, two best moderators in all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand something. So we have a situation where Joe Biden had no competition since what, April? Everyone knew he was going to wrap up whatever notion of a nomination. Now, because he's officially wrapped up or clinched the nomination, then that means what? That Clinton cannot become nominee. She will become nominee. We're just going to listen to Joe Biden all night. So this is the consequence of saying that he's going to be nominee, or believing that they're really serious. We already had. You know what? We can go and we'll start off with Sochi Hinojosa, the wonderful, amazing DNC spokeswoman who's awesome, really awesome, and much better than Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who, because of the Russians, they hacked the DNC, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign. But let's see, 1 second. So, to my super chat, thank you so very much. I just don't understand the belief that because part of the charade takes place, they're not going to go and engage in the rest of the charade. So she was with Bill Hemmer, the DNC spokeswoman. She was with Bill Hemmer. And here's the clip. I'm just waiting for the commercials to go. Okay, so we'll get right to it. All right. Okie dokie. We're almost there. We are almost here. Okay, now here's literally, don't trust me, trust the DNC spokeswoman, who, this is what her words were here.
In this summer. Where are you in the planning for that now?
Well, yesterday we had a very lengthy meeting, and we decided that we were going to give the full authority to the convention team in order to make plans and to make sure that people are safe. And so that is what we did there. We don't have our heads stuck in the sand. We understand that this pandemic could go longer than expected. There is uncertainty with the pandemic, and we want to make sure that we...
Notice how from May 13th to now, social distancing has literally flown out the window as other things have flown into the window.
Are keeping people safe. And we want to make sure that all of our delegates can participate, whether that is in person or at some remote location. And so...
Kaylee Smith! I still think they'll send in. Exactly, Kaylee Smith, thank you. It's happening, folks. This is just a formality. And there's just no way that Biden's going to be nominee, even if he won it in the first ballot, won it technically now, because they still have to vote. And really quickly, 538 tells you right off the bat. This is because of a little secret. Democrat delegates are pledged to certain candidates based on the results of primary, but they are not actually legally bound to vote for them, even on the first ballot. Nobody's legally bound to vote for Biden. But listen to this.
Right now, we're doing everything we can to keep people safe, and you can't say that of Republicans. They continue to plan.
We'll ask them when they're on as well. But I just want to be clear about this. I mean, there's a real possibility that the convention does not happen, or it happens in a virtual sense. Is that correct as of today?
First of all, our convention has to happen because we are not officially nominating Joe Biden in order to take Donald Trump. So our convention...
We are not officially nominating Joe Biden in order to take Donald Trump. So don't listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Eric H526, don't listen to me. Luke St. Martin, don't listen to me. She stated it. The DNC spokeswoman stated it. Okay? You don't have to be I'm not a rocket scientist, but here, it's right here.
Or at some remote location. And so right now we're doing everything to keep people safe, and you can't say that of Republicans. They continue to plan.
We'll ask them when they're on as well. But I just want to be clear about this. I mean, there's a real possibility that the convention does not happen, or it happens in a virtual sense. Is that correct as of today?
First of all, our convention has to happen.
First of all, our convention has to happen.
Because we are not officially nominating Joe Biden in order to take Donald Trump.
We're not officially nominating Joe Biden in order to take Donald Trump. The whole thing has been a charade. Michael Bloomberg didn't spend $1.2 billion for Biden. Amy Klobuchar didn't drop out for Biden the day before Super Tuesday. Mayor Pete didn't drop out a day before 2 days before Super Tuesday. Elizabeth Warren didn't drop out a day after Super Tuesday. 2 days after. Michael Bloomberg didn't immediately drop out after spending $1.2 billion. They're a bunch of... You're talking about a political machine that cheats all the time and utilizes media to cover up for its indiscretions and its corrupt, fraudulent behavior. So this is well, listen to this again here.
So our convention, they continue to plan.
We'll ask them when they're on as well. But I just want to be clear about this. I mean, there's a real possibility that the convention does not happen, or it happens in a virtual sense. Is that correct as of today?
First of all, our convention has to happen because we are not officially nominating Joe Biden in order to take Donald Trump.
We are not officially nominating Joe Biden in order to take Donald Trump. Why would she say this? And so at that point, after March, during the pandemic, when people were when they never asked Fauci or anyone if they should keep their primaries, this will be the definitive guide to when she becomes nominee, and I make the biggest political call of all time. People will understand that I explained to you every step of the way that it was a bunch of nonsense. But here, hold on one second. You heard the DNC spokeswoman. Now you're going to hear Madam Secretary just pretty much tell you. She knows who it's going to be, and it's going to be her.
And it is striking to me that, we're having a debate on our side of...
I listen to this every night before I go to bed. I sleep like a baby.
...the political ledger. But it's a debate about the right issue. How do we get to health care coverage for everybody that we can afford?
Will you support whoever the candidate is on the Democratic side?
Yeah, sure.
100%.
Yeah, because I think I know who they're likely to be.
Who are they?
So, Jimbo! There's a real possibility Joe Biden gets lost on the way to the convention. Oh, Jimbo! I agree. Gene Malzoom, hello. Thank you so very much. This is the biggest, thank you. I don't want to pat myself on the back. Gene, thank you so very much, as always, for watching. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526. Check this out.
Will you support whoever the candidate is on the Democratic side?
Yeah, sure.
100%.
Yeah, because I think I know who they're likely to be.
Who are they?
Okay.
Ledger. But it's a debate about the right issue. How do we get to health care coverage for everybody that we can afford?
Will you support whoever the candidate is on the Democratic side?
Yeah, sure.
100%.
Yeah, because I think I know who they're likely to be.
Who are they? Who do you think it's going to be?
And it is striking to me that, we're having a debate on our side of the political ledger. But it's a debate about the right issue. How do we get to health care coverage for everybody that we can afford?
Will you support whoever the candidate is on the Democratic side?
Will you support whoever? So we just heard from the DNC spokeswoman that they are not officially nominating Joe Biden. Now, the Democrats are so corrupt that even when they're actually telling the truth, nobody could possibly believe that that a person would be megalomaniacal and narcissistic enough to run again, which is great. Why not? Other people. Reagan ran 3 times. What's the problem? Joe Biden ran, I think, 4 times or 3 times. Joe Biden is a placeholder. The reason, do you think that Madam Secretary wants to run during a pandemic and during the recent crisis? No. She doesn't need to run. Jimbo, thank you. She doesn't need to. Kaylee Smith, thank you. Jimbo, thank you. The fact that he's won all the delegates is completely irrelevant because they don't care about delegates. The delegates are not legally bound because there's nothing legal, or there are no laws that govern. There are no state laws or federal laws that govern the DNC because it's a private entity, which is why they should never have outsourced a third-party tech firm to tell the United States government what to do or give the United States any evidence, which is why the DNC and the Clinton campaign should never have purchased a Steele dossier. But check it out again.
Ledger. But it's a debate about the right issue. How do we get to health care coverage for everybody that we can afford?
Will you support whoever the candidate is on the Democratic side?
Yeah, sure.
100%.
Yeah, because I think I know who they're likely to be.
Who are they? Who do you think it's going to be?
I'm not going to go that.
I'm going to support the nominee because I think I know Jimbo, who it's going to be. Kaylee Smith, you're 100% right. So she's going to support the nominee not because she knows it's going to be Biden, because she knows who it's going to be. Because she knows who it's going to be. And so there you go. So now we're not done. We're not nearly done. Well, this is going to be a whole hour of enjoyment. So you have the DNC spokeswoman saying, we are not going to nominate Joe Biden. Then you have Hillary Clinton in November. I mean, we're not that far removed from November of 2019. Saying she'll support the nominee, not because it's going to be Biden, because at that point Biden was up, then Bernie was going to become nominee. Then, of course, Biden then took it back. This is a formality. The delegate count is a formality. They're not going to go on the centennial of the 19th Amendment and give it to Biden, who, let's see, this is one of the great moments in Biden history. Where is this?
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
So we'll start off with the soulful sounds of Biden. Okay, did he really clinch the nomination? Oh, that's good. And they're not going to give it to Madam Secretary, who runs the political machine, who's every single day in the news, every single day in the news. They're not going to give it to her. Even if she testifies about the servers, doesn't testify, it's irrelevant. Excuse me.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
You know the thing. And then they're like, oh, he's up over Trump. He's up over Trump. Yeah, go ahead. You listen. If Democrats ran with this man as the nominee, they would get not only obliterated, that he wouldn't even win the popular vote. He would not even win the popular vote. There's like a 40-point differential. But in terms of very enthusiastic voters, that's very similar to the differential between President Obama and McCain in 2008. Brian Morrow! Sup, HA, for writing that Massacre Political Podcast. Thank you. Brian Morrow, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's listen to it again.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
You know the thing. All right, so Biden, let's see. This is the person that's going to get voter turnout. Okay, so let's just listen to this. This is the person that's going to get voter turnout. Okay. Hold on one second. This is the person that's going to, let's just see if I can get to.
And by the way, I should understand
I sit on a stand.
And it get hot.
It get hot.
I got hairy legs that turn that turn blonde in the sun. And the kid used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. So
I don't see nothing wrong with rubbing Joe Biden's leg head down.
straight and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
All right. So then we haven't even got to some of the best parts. Let's just continue going. We can just go on all night. I don't even have to say anything. Here. So this is the man that clinched the nomination. He clinched the nomination. Ain't you bad man? Oh, yeah? That's good.
Yeah, and back in those days, you sure think. And Corn Pop was a bad dude.
It was a bad dude. Bad.
And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Does anyone believe that they're serious with this man? They are a political machine. They spent 3 years blaming Russia. You don't think they're capable of anything? They are not going with Biden. And we already knew he was going to clinch the nomination. So today he clinched the nomination. It's a charade. It's part of a charade. It's Act 1, Scene 2, whatever.
Darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Bad dudes.
Over there. And he fell off sideways over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, you sure think.
Does anyone believe this? Does anyone believe this? Here, let's just do Burisma. We can go on forever. There's no way. There's no way. They wouldn't even get the popular vote. It would not even get the popular vote with Biden. So, hold on one second. So let's see here. Hold on one second. Here. Here's one of the biggest Biden one of the biggest controversies ever here, and that, of course,
Decided to provide Lemmy the cost to Russia. No body bags are coming home. It takes two things. I was not but it just happened to be that was the assignment I got. I got all the good ones, and so I got Ukraine, and I remember going over convincing our team.
Gee, how did he get the assignment? That's really interesting. Do you think the Burisma executives knew that he got the assignment? And do you think that's maybe why Hunter was on the board? I don't think so. I think everything was above board, but you know.
Others to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess
And this is, by the way, how you know that the world is topsy-turvy and completely absurd. These are the smartest people in the room. The Council on Foreign Relations. The most savvy people. And they're looking at this man, and they're looking with reverence and with respect. And these are generally the good foreign policy hawk liberals who think that George W. Bush is a good Republican. Is a good Republican, George W. Bush. We miss him. We don't like Trumpy. He's bringing Americans home. And we don't like him. He's ending U.S. foreign policy disasters and quagmires and endless conflict and counterinsurgency, wars, and oh my God, no, he's bringing home Americans. He's the first president to step foot in North Korea to begin détente between North and South Korea. Oh, we just don't like him. He wants better relations with, I don't know, a 50-year Cold War adversary in Russia. Oh, we don't like him. We much better. We like the smart power of destroying a country in Libya after a failed NATO intervention. But here, you see like the reverence of these people. Oh, he's so great. He's such a good person. TXP, AJ is a bad dude, and his leg hairs are bad boys. TXP, thank you. So listen to this.
12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't.
Who told you to? Who allowed you to take to get a commitment from President Poroshenko? Who? And first of all, the current president Zelensky and Poroshenko both stated that President Trump did not strong arm or leverage them or blackmail them or anything, and that actually there's actually an investigation in the Ukraine right now regarding why Biden forced out Viktor Shokin.
So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion.
What authority does this man have? So they say Trump's an authoritarian. How does Joe Biden speak for the United States of America? Isn't it Congress that can decide, power the purse, whether a country gets $1 billion in loan guarantees? Tell me, I want to know what authority this man has to unilaterally say, oh yeah, you're not going to get $1 billion in loan guarantees until you fire somebody. And when's the last time we did this? How about never, or not in decades? And that was within a completely different context?
They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him.
They said, you have no authority. You have no authority. Even the Ukrainians stated, what is the reality? President Poroshenko, everyone there stated, or I don't know if it was Poroshenko, but definitely President Zelensky is not happy with what his predecessor did, almost certainly. And the diplomats from Ukraine stated, you have no authority. You have no authority. What right do you have to do this? So they knew what was going on, and then look at Biden.
I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion.
You're not getting $1 billion. And they're all laughing, and everyone's laughing. Oh, these are all the Council on Foreign Relations. Oh, they're so smart and savvy. Oh, they're such foreign policy wonks. Really? And if Trump did this, oh my God, it would be this heavy-handed despot, gangster bullying everyone on the planet. But if a wonderful liberal like Biden does it, oh, it's fine.
I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a...
So...
got fired. If the prosecutor...
So... They're this is a clip where they're playing over back in they keep playing over exactly a son of a gun, he got fired. So you tell me, is this normal? Is this a good thing? Is this the type of thing that is this the type of thing that where people are where this is just normal? This happens and this is normal? Of course not. Of course not. This is not normal. This is not the way U.S. foreign policy is conducted. Okay? This is not the way U.S. foreign policy is conducted. So you can't you can't say that you can't say that you can't say that this man is the best that Democrats have, because actually Hillary Clinton is, even with the litany of controversies and scandals. You still have a situation. Brian Morrow. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minute would be lost. Keep up the great work, H.A. Thank you so very much, Brian. You are a patriot. Veterans support you, and God bless the veterans. God bless you, Brian. Thank you. Be well. Thank you very much, Brian Morrow. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so very much. Thanks for the kind words, Brian. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Brian, this is going to be fun. We have a situation where they're just what they love to do is put up a charade. Now, everyone believes the charade, but, you know, it's just that, a charade. It's just that. It is just that, ladies and gentlemen, a charade. So, we have so many examples of Democrats. Hold on. Andrew Morgan, Jimbo. Andrew Morgan, hello. We have so many examples, ladies and gentlemen, of where this is a complete hoax and charade. But here, let's just go. This is the biggest example of all time. So here you go. Here you have it. Here you have it. Let's see. This is 3 days, by the way. 3 days before George Floyd. 3 days before George Floyd. Here.
That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact
So, you know, Joe Biden did this on purpose. Biden did that on purpose. There was absolutely nothing that there was no reason, absolutely no reason why he would say that. And he looked into the camera, and it looked completely planned. It looked just completely planned, and you know, let's listen to it again.
At 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
Who has the audacity to say anything like that. And then George Floyd was murdered 3 days after this statement, and then the media is now painting Biden as the one to unify. Well, how? How? Then you have the following. We can go on forever. We can go on forever. Here.
Businesses shut and people at home. Are you at all concerned, as Trump said, that we cannot let the cure be worse than the problem itself?
We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what.
We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what. Brian, thank you again. We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what. How does this make any sense? How does this make any sense at all? It makes no sense. I mean, we can go there's a lot more. We can go on forever. We can go on forever. There's no way, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way that this man is going to be a nominee. There's no way that this man's going to be nominee. Because you look at, you got to look at, well, what's their best chance of winning? And it's not Biden. What is their best chance of winning, ladies and gentlemen? It's not Biden. There's no way that Biden's going to be nominee. And I don't care if he goes ahead and suddenly becomes, clinches the nomination and all of that. It's like the whole thing is what is their best chance of winning, ladies and gentlemen? The whole thing is nonsense anyway. The whole thing's nonsense. You're talking about a political party that their best chance is Hillary Clinton. And they know this. They know this, but they simply can't, they know this, but they simply can't admit it. If they were to admit, ladies and gentlemen, if they were to admit that, the whole thing was a charade, then who knows what would happen? But they can't admit the whole thing was a charade. They can't admit. So, they can't admit the whole thing was a charade. Why? Because they have to keep up appearances. You just ask yourself if it makes sense. Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, if it makes sense that Michael Bloomberg spend $1.2 billion in 3 months. Ask yourself if that makes sense. Ask yourself if that is normal. Is that normal? Is that a reasonable or logical assumption that he Fatty Lotus? Tom Fitton is putting a lot of pressure on Hilda. Maybe put a wrench in your prediction. I don't think that Madam Secretary really cares. Although Tom Fitton's amazing. Tom Fitton is the man. Fatty Lotus, thank you. I think that if anything, she has to become nominee to ensure that to ensure that none of this gains any traction. The second she becomes if she were to win, there goes. If she were to win, there goes. If she were to win, there goes John Durham, William Barr, any investigation into Comey, Clapper, Brennan. So, Cal, hello. I just think that there's so much at stake. They wanted to make sure that Bernie Sanders was completely and utterly out of the way. Now, you might think, well, the second in line, if Biden has to pass the baton, the second in line is Bernie. No, he's not the second in line. He's not the second in line. The person who is going to be nominee is Madam Secretary. We can go on forever. We can go on forever. The issue, people, is that you have a whole lot of public relations. You have a gigantic public relations machine, and the public relations machine is up and running. And the notion that, well, because he won the delegates needed, therefore it's a real fair primary. We already knew after in March 17th, when 1 million people in Florida and hundreds of thousands in Arizona and Illinois voted for Biden over Bernie, we already knew Bernie had no chance. The whole thing, they cheated him in 2016, and this primary is even less equitable, less fair. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. We can go on forever, but I mean, you've heard this is that we haven't even gotten to all of. We have not even gotten, ladies and gentlemen, to all of the quotes and all of the reasons. Madam Secretary is going to be nominee because she's the only chance. Hillary Clinton is the only chance they have to win. The only chance they have to win. And that's it. She's literally the only chance they have to win. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you so very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, to my super chat. Thank you. Get some rest. I'll be back tomorrow morning, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so very, very much to my super chat. Thank you. And people, it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening. And what can I tell you? Other than August will be the moment you will see Madam Secretary will be nominee. How it happens, I have no clue. But I do know that Clinton will be giving that nomination speech because there will be two people tuning in. Two people tuning in to Biden getting, if let's say he were to give that speech, nobody on the planet would listen to it. But this is the centennial of the 19th Amendment. They're going to go with Hillary Clinton. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. That's below in the pinned comment. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's hyperbole translator. That is below in the pinned comment. Share my Times of Israel article. Hillary Clinton, not Biden, will be nominee. And share my Huffington Post article. And just what? The other day, 10 to 15% are not good people. We can go on forever. We can go on forever. We can go on forever, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom line is, it ain't going down the way people think it is. It ain't going down the way people think it is. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you. And I will see you tomorrow in the morning. Check out, subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel and H.A. Goodman's Hyperbole Translator right now. Thanks, everybody. God bless. Get some rest. Thank you. See you tomorrow.